President Trump is making an effort to continue appealing to suburban women through his campaign rallies. But how is his message resonating with suburban women? And what other efforts should he take to further his appeal toward that demographic? I spoke with the communications director at Winning for Women, Olivia Perez-Cubas, about the issue further. Take a look. So first, tell us more about what Winning for Women is and its mission.
Yeah, so Winning for Women is an organization focused on helping to empower and advance conservative women leaders. Most recently, however, we launched a super PAC, which is actually the first Republican super PAC dedicated solely to electing women. And what we saw is that, 2018, we saw a wave of women from the left get elected. It was very much deemed the year of the woman, but so many qualified Republican women watched from the sidelines, and we kind of asked ourselves, why is that the case? And what we found is more often than not, Republican women need early support in their primaries through their general election. Often the left targets them, and at times the media overlooks them or dismisses them or is biased against them. So we really came in there with the goal to help recruit, support, and elect women throughout the entire election process. We have seen significant gains. 2020 has been a record year for Republican women. More women than ever are running for office. More Republican women than ever before have won their primaries and have their names on the ballots come November. And we're really excited about that and just kind of hope to keep building off those gains for future cycles.
Let me ask you, you have a unique perspective in that you worked as a media director for Senator Marco Rubio's presidential campaign back in 2016. Polls, such as the Morning Consult poll from earlier this month, show suburban women favor Democrat nominee Joe Biden over President Trump. What does the president need to do in order to appeal to that demographic?
Yeah, well, I think really not much has changed since 2016 in terms of people like what the president says. They just don't like how he says it. I think that's particularly true among suburban women who more often than not take offense and are turned off by his tweets and the rhetoric. But when the president sticks to policy, when he talks about things like the economy, when he talks about tax reform, a historic package passed under his administration, when he talks about the number of conservative federal judges that he's appointed, 2 of whom are now Supreme Court justices, a third well on the way with Judge Coney Barrett. When he sticks to the policies, suburban women in particular, by and large, approve and agree with him. The president is the president. I don't really see his communication style changing anytime soon, but really what it'll come down to is whether or not the policy is enough to offset the rhetoric.
I think you make a great point there regarding the rhetoric. And of course, we know that his daughter, senior advisor Ivanka Trump, she's also played a heavy role in his campaign in enacting policies that would directly affect suburban women and family women and working women. Now, let me ask you, many applaud the way Judge Coney Barrett handled the confirmation hearings last week. But there is a notion among some women that she would essentially be not good for women's rights. How much of a factor does this play leading up to the election regarding her nomination to the High Court?
Yeah, I actually think, well, first, she's been incredibly impressive, composed and poised, which is great to see. I don't think many people can disagree with that, which is not an easy feat these days. But I actually think she has really broad appeal. She's a working mom. She clearly has an incredibly successful legal career. She's about to be appointed to the Supreme Court. She has 7 kids, all of whom are school-aged. These experiences really resonate, particularly with those suburban women voters that we were just talking about. But also, on the other hand, she is a woman of deep Catholic faith, proudly pro-life, and that resonates with other like-minded conservatives. And what's interesting to see is you're also seeing some Democrats warm to her. Last week, you had Senator Durbin, a Democrat, apologize to her for the way that the left had mistreated her and the toll that had likely taken with her family. You saw Senator Dianne Feinstein, who called one of her legal explanations, quote, impressive. And I really think, to sum it up, that's the word for her. She is impressive, and women and men across the board agree with that.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.